Lear's daughters takes its shape from the gaps in Shakespeare's King Lear. The play has been called a landmark in feminist reinventing of Shakespeare. Lear's daughters marginalizes the former protagonist King Lear by presenting him offstage and instead prioritizes his imaginary wife who is absent in the original play. The emphasis is not on Lear, who is just a lecherous, imperfect father, but on his three daughters who suffer from parental neglect. The male protagonist of the original work, King Lear, is reduced to a lesser degree, and here it is trying to prove that his daughters are not responsible for his tragedy anymore. The aim of the play is to rewrite Shakespeare's King Lear by providing a prequel to the source text, that is King Lear. So the aim of the play is to rewrite Shakespeare's King Lear by providing a prequel to the text King Lear. Hence, King Lear functions as a background of Shakespeare's plot. The characterization of food, which is one of the most important characters in the Shakespeare's play King Lear, here is turned into an androgynous character. And this is done deliberately to blur the strict gender differences that you find in Shakespeare's work. Apart from the three characters, apart from the three daughters, Gondrel, Regan, and Cordelia, the fool is added, as I told you earlier, it is an androgynous fool. And apart from the four characters, we have a nurse, one of the newly introduced characters in the play. Lear's daughters does not in any way refer to the male characters of the source text positively. Besides being introduced as an offstage character, reference to Lear throughout the play shows that he is not an ideal family man. Lear is presented in the play as a source of fear for his daughters, even in the first mention of the name Lear. One wonders how Lear becomes a source of fear for his daughters if he is no longer there in the play. But we find that although he is removed from the stage, Lear still maintains a significant presence in the lives of his daughters with his power to make decisions on behalf of them as he still arranges their marriages. Lear is far from being the ideal man in this play also because of his imperious manners. He is depicted as a man very much obsessed with getting a male heir and therefore often forcing his queen into having sex. The WTG attempted a translation of the Shakespearean plot and characters into contemporary terms. The play they chose for their purpose was King Lear because it is a highly suggestive text which allows for an investigation into patriarchal constraints, particularly the ways in which authority is displayed in the play. Emphasizing the women's characters, the new play was titled Lear's Daughters. Conventional assessment of Lear was as a man more sinned than sinning. Women's reception of Shakespearean text was never given authenticity. It was in such context that WTG came forward with their path-breaking and radical Lear's Daughters. As mentioned earlier, it is a 90-minute prequel to King Lear and tries to fill in the absences of Shakespeare's text as well as of its adaptations by male writers. The play, as told earlier, has five characters, three of Lear's daughters, the nanny, who is also called as a nurse who looks after the girls, and the fool, who is an androgynous character. One has to note that Lear is absent throughout the play, but his presence is always felt. The play has employed multiracial casting, and this multiracial casting gives a fluidity and helps in the possibility of enabling different readings for the play.